Howdy folks, it's the Tall Turtle here and welcome back to X-Plane 11, and I'm so glad you're able to watch this video because this is my fourth attempt at recording this flight. The simulator crashed 3 times for some reason, and the fact you're able to watch this video means I finally made it. The only thing I can think of is that I had San Francisco Bay scenery from like the X-Plane 9 days in the X-Plane folder that I totally forgot about. And that's the only variable I changed, was removing that. So the fact it works now means that was probably the problem. So I'm glad I had that in there, otherwise I wouldn't know what to do for troubleshooting other than restarting. So where are we? What are we doing? As always, the description of the video is in the description of the video below, right? The details, the airplane is down there. Departure and arrival information is down there, but I'll tell you anyway. We're departing Half Moon Bay Airport in California. We're going to fly over to Oakland, Metropolitan, or the Metropolitan, Oakland, over on the other side of the San Francisco Bay. So San Francisco Bay flight today, as the title suggests. The plan is to take off runway 30, turn right, fly directly over KSFO, see the skyline to the left, and go to Oakland. We're not going to worry about Alcatraz or this Golden Gate Bridge because I don't have those in the sim right now. I don't have any add-ons for San Francisco, and this version of X-Plane I don't think yet has Alcatraz. I know X-Plane or Laminar was doing a teaser about that, but I don't have any of that detailed scenery anyway, so we'll fly by the skyline. AutoGen will take care of it for us. We'll fly over the airport, fly over the bay, and land. Very simple. Like I said, it's 5:30 a.m. Oh, the reason why I said that is because real world weather is turned off because it is 5:30 a.m. IRL before work. And in real life, you cannot fly to San Francisco at 5:30 in the morning. It is completely fogged in. So we have real world weather turned off so that we can actually fly right now. It's like 6:10 in the sim though. So that is what we have set up. So let's hop inside. Parking brake is set already. Let's shut the door. There we go. Reset the controls. I did that before I started recording. Get the bobblehead on the dash. I don't see him from here. We got to do it like this. There you go, Austin. How are you doing, buddy? Hello, hello. Weight and fuel. I think it's an 18-mile flight, not a mile flight, so we don't need 2 hours of fuel, but let's do 1.5 hours anyway. Ooh, 6:13 in the sim. Every time the sim crashed, it would add some time, I see. 6:13 in the sim, that's fine. Fuel selector is always to both by default. Fuel shutoff is off by default. Battery and alternator can come on. Sounds like I'm in a hurry. I'm not. I'm just trying to stay on task here. Fuel pump can come on. Hear that wind up. There it is. Mixture rich. Throttle quarter of the way. Confirm avionics are off, and they are. And let's start this thing. You hold to start this one. And there it is. Purring like a feral kitten. All right, we'll hop up here. Sync the gyros. There we go. Mixture lean. Yes, avionics can come on now. Flight plan, there really isn't one. We're going to put the destination in the GPS so we know where we're going. And we'll use autopilot through GPS so we can sightsee. But other than that, it's completely VFR flight, completely VFR landing on whatever runway we want because weather's turned off. So flight plan, let's go here and clear out whatever flight that was. And let's go over here to Kilo Oscar. Oh, one more. Alpha and Kilo. There we go. And we don't need KHAF in there. That's where we're starting. All right. I know the race is direct to Oakland, but I like to do direct again anyway, so it shows up. There. That's it. Boom. But we can't fly directly there like the purple line wants us to because there are mountains. So we either need to go this way, or we're actually going to start on runway 30. We're going to go this way over KSFO, over the bay, look at the skyline, and land. Should be very simple. Yeah, I mean, the fact you're watching this means it worked, right? CDI to GPS so we can do autopilot to sightsee. I would love to hand fly the whole thing, but when you sightsee for a couple minutes, even a couple minutes, you climb a couple thousand feet, you're off to the left or the right, it's really hard to do. So we'll probably be using autopilot to sightsee. Radios, no other radios to do. Altimeter, barometer, no weather turned on, so just tune 902. Use any runway we want. Come down here, turn on the taxi lights, confer flaps down 1 notch. There we go. And we're ready to taxi. Let's hop outside. Take that parking brake off and let's go to runway 30, which is just off our right wing, actually. So let's get going. Oh, the sun is coming up because the sim is getting later. There we are. We're parked right there at the little office area. Short walk to our hangar, short walk to our aircraft. And we're just going to go down here. It's a short taxi, so we're going to stay together for this taxi, I think. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's see. Anything else I need to say? Not on the ground. I do have some things to say in the air, but not on the ground. So let's just taxi. Trying to think of any sights we want to see along the way. Not really. We are by ourselves this morning. We're flying all alone, bright and early. Why, I don't know, but we are flying bright and early. Come on. All right, we're almost there, runway 30. I guess while we're inside, we can set our heading bug to runway 30. Just nice to have the heading bug set to the runway heading in case you bump autopilot or autopilot kicks in, or you do use autopilot and it screws up. And we can come down here and let's get our taxi lights, landing lights on. Taxi lights can come off because we're going to go right into the runway, keep going. In fact, we can just roll right out. All right, fuel rich. Let's start that clock, and away we go. As soon as we go straight here, we're going to goose it, and take off. There we go. Hang on, Austin. Hope your sticky Velcro is working. And it should just lift off on its own. And bonk my microphone, of course. There we go. Flaps coming in already. Step on the brake. Trimming it down because I don't really want to climb all that quickly. I don't even want to get that high. I think we're going to max out at like 4,200 to 4,500. There we go. Maintain runway heading. It's nice, easy climb. I'm not worried about like optimum climb rate or anything. I just want to do a nice VFR, fly based on what we want to see. Look at those awesome mountains. Let's peek down here a little bit. Okay, come down. There we go. Look at that. Wow. That's awesome. Let's do a screenshot of that. Oh, come on. There we go. And then, of course, the other window is just ocean. The ocean is fun, too. I'm not really an ocean person, though. All right, so the plan is we are going to stay along this coastline until we get beyond the mountains. Then we'll take a sharp right, fly over the main airport, which will be fine because traffic will not be at our altitude above the airport, right? They'll be coming in far approaches, and then their patterns will be higher, so we're not going to obstruct any traffic. Otherwise, that's simple as that. We will use autopilot in a minute so we can sightsee. We'll probably use the heading bug and alt hold to sightsee. That way, we don't climb as we're sightseeing and we don't turn as we're sightseeing. But we are hand flying right now. It's trimmed out nicely. In fact, I don't even have my hands on the yoke at all. I'm just letting it kind of turn to the right for us. Look at the highway and all the morning rush hour traffic. And even though we don't have real weather turned on, the scenery and haze is amazing. Look at that. What do you think, Austin? What do you think? Let's have a quick look outside, though. Just quickly, while I try to fly this thing by hand. And then we'll talk about a few things, and then we'll have some nice, peaceful sightseeing. Look at that. There's Half Moon Bay. I guess the bay kind of looks like Half Moon, right? There are the mountains. The simulator hasn't crashed yet, which is good news for me. Well, good news for you too, obviously. Some ships out there in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, how awesome. So, one more thing I want to talk about before I turn you loose to sightseeing here is story time. Those of you who have been with the channel for a long time know that not only do we sim here, but we also have story time. Although, that being said, I haven't done story time in ages. I've been concentrating on complicated airplanes and flight plans and everything. So we're going to do a quick story time, and then we'll do some sightseeing. So, story time about San Francisco, because I tell stories about where we are, right? Well, I don't really have any. After all I just said. There's the skyline up there. Don't have any because I don't really travel all that much. My wife is a big traveler. She's done a lot of international and domestic traveling. She goes somewhere exotic with her mom and her sister every year, which is awesome. Of course, I'm not invited. I just stay home with the 2 children, the offspring, for a week at a time. But I'm happy for her. I'm not whining or anything. But I do get a little envious that she travels so much, especially because not only have I not traveled anywhere interesting, per se, I've never traveled without kids in over 10 years. It's been 10 years since I've been on a trip without children. I'm not joking. My wife gets to go actually she goes on like 3 trips a year. One main like exotic trip, but just like 3 trips a year she does without children. So anyway, it's been 10 years without children for me, and no trips and no exotic trips anyway. So I'm not whining, but I'm a little envious. I just want to say that. I want to get that out there. So my wife has been to San Francisco with her family. I don't think it wasn't like her wild European travels, which, oh my goodness, does she have some wild stories. Wow. Anybody who knows her and then hears her stories, they don't believe it. But San Francisco for her was with her family, pretty low-key, I think. She doesn't really talk about it much, other than her dad was extremely embarrassing on the trolley, which doesn't surprise me at all. Otherwise, that's all I have to say for story time. Sorry to be anticlimactic. But, I do have one more thing to mention. My wife and I are going on a trip without children for the first time in 10 years. It's for 2 days, or 2 nights, I guess. And it's only like 100 miles away. So it's just down the road, and it's only for 2 nights. But it's without children, so that'll be awesome. I'll take what I can get. And we'll just leave it at that. But if I ever do an international flight or international travel, you will hear about it first. If I travel without children, you'll hear about it first. So there's the skyline. How beautiful. Let's not keep climbing. We're getting too high. So let's actually engage autopilot until we intersect that purple line, and then we'll do some sightseeing. I'm going to be quiet now. Those of you who have not been with the channel very long, see heading and alt. Those of you who have not been with the channel very long, I usually tell a story every single flight. There's the airport right below us. Look at that gigantic building. This was the plan. We have not crashed, obviously. The sim has not crashed. So I fixed the problem. It was that really old scenery, which I should have thought of at my first attempt, not my fourth. There's the skyline, the auto gen. Remember, everything is cranked. All my sim settings are cranked, except reflections, because I hate them because they don't reflect in real time, right? They're a second behind. So everything's cranked except reflections, and it's going great. So we're held at, 4,200 feet, just like I said we would be. And we're going to use heading bug until we get to the purple line, and then we will use GPS with autopilot. All we have to do is hit nav. That's it. In fact, we're really close to it. I guess we'll just do that together in a moment. Then we're just going to head there. We're going to fly to the airport, circle and land based on what we feel like doing. Let's have a look at San Francisco, though, quickly, while we're flying right above it. Where are you? There you are. Look at that. See, we're not in any way of any traffic. None. Because we're above everything. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Look at that skyline. We gotta get going. We're gonna miss all the nice sightseeing. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move this to nav, which will bring us to GPS. It's gonna turn us to the right to go left, isn't it? You silly goose. Anyway, whatever. We're going to hold this altitude until we get close to the airport. We're going to use GPS to bring us there. We're going to circle to land because I don't know the area. So we can't set ourselves up for a runway when I don't know the area. We got to circle to land. So we're going to do all that. Hang on tight, Austin. Let's do some sightseeing. I'm going to rest my voice so when I get to work in about an hour, I can talk. And I'll catch you in a little bit. And for some reason, it's not keeping us on the GPS track. So over here, we're set to GPS, we're set to nav. It says GPS. I don't know what's going on, but I forgot this autopilot has some serious issues, I think. So let's go back to heading bug, and we'll just use heading bug to get us there. Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out because that's hilarious. So actually we need to do a little bit more, I think. Let's do a little bit more to the north. Whoops, not that much north. This thing is so hard to control. Stop already. There we go. That was too much, but I'll tweak it as we go. Alrighty, back to sightseeing for you, and I'll catch you in a little bit. Alright, we're flying over the airport already. Way up high because I wanted to enjoy the sightseeing. So that was pretty incredible sightseeing though. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. You can just go back and review the video. Sorry, I keep holding my microphone. I just can't get enough of that skyline and the Golden Gate Bridge, and you can see over the peninsula. Oh my gosh. But anyway, we are way over airport now. We're beyond airport. So let's turn everything off. I think you can just do it like that. Oh, you can't turn it off. You have to like trim. There you go. Hit trim to break it down. Let's bring the throttles back. Let's circle to land. Let's see, what runway do we want? We can choose any runway, of course, because there's no weather to worry about. So let's pick one of these. Let's just do runway 12. No, let's do a left one, sorry. Let's do 10. Let's do 10 left. The point is I want to set my heading bug to 10 so I know the orientation of the runway. So let's go like this. So there's 9, 10 right there, right? 9, come on, 10, the big one there. That would be 10 for 100 degrees. So now we know the orientation of the runway. So let's, oh my gosh. Sorry, I got distracted by the buildings in Oakland. Wow, the AutoGen does such a good job, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Alrighty, we got to fly a plane. That's the problem, is I just want to sit and sightsee. We have to fly a plane, so we're going to turn until we're opposite runway 10 by using the heading bug, which would be right now. So there we go. We know we're parallel to the runway, should be behind us, like back there somewhere, something like that. I don't know where it is. It's over there somewhere. We'll figure it out because we're going to turn around in a minute. So let's not go too low because we want to be able to see, right? We don't know the area. Of course, ATC would be like, turn this heading, turn that heading, go to this altitude, and then all of a sudden, boom, the runway would magically be there. Whoa, that happens in this plane. I don't know why. Can I please regain control of the aircraft? Can I please regain control of the aircraft? There we go. Okay. Anyway, ATC would direct us, and all of a sudden there'd be a runway in front of us. Why is it? What's it doing? Why is it doing this? It's getting dizzy. Anyway, Alcatraz would be right there. Is that cool? All right, we're gonna come down to about 2,200 or so, and then we'll turn around. If it'll let me. This thing is all wonky. Let me do this weird like thing that I do. The throttle, sometimes that helps. Nope, used to help on X-Plane 10. Oh my word, I can't control my aircraft. Weird. What is going on? Are my rudders weird? Oh, my rudders broke. Hang on, my rudders broke. Right? Yep, that's why. Let me reset my rudders. That's better. And now we have control of aircraft. I don't know what's going on with the rudder thing. It's not my actual rudders. It's like not the brand of rudders, because my old rudders did the same thing. So, and they're totally different brands. So it's not the rudders themselves. And it's not my computer, because the same thing happened with my old computer. And it happened next to me. So I don't know what it is. It just happens to me. No one else talks about it. No one knows what I'm talking about. But it happens. Not sure. Alrighty, I know we're giving ourselves a gigantic distance because we don't know the area and I won't have time to line up at the airport. And as I was saying before we were interrupted, there's no ATC to direct us, so we're all on our own. All right, so what's that? 1,900 feet. Let's not drop any lower yet. Oh my gosh, I'm just really enjoying the scenery. I'm having a hard time wanting to land this plane. Let's just look around super quickly before we turn back on the final. Oh my word. Wow. There's the airport. There's the airport. Simple. Alrighty. Oh, look at that sunrise. Hang on. Sunrise over the mountains. Okay. Let's land an airplane now that everything's working. So here we go. I'm going to turn back, give ourselves a little bit of a crosswind. Let's keep that speed up. So we're going to point down for speed and throttle so we don't descend. There's our short crosswind leg. Can we see out the window and see anything? When do we want to turn on the final? Right about now. Alrighty. Turn, turn, turn. Whoa, step on that ball a little bit better. Whoa. Okay, that was weird. That was weird. I like just rested my foot and it was enough. Yeah, look at the rudder's doing whatever they want. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we see a runway. It's not in front of us. It's this one right here. 10 left. That'd be 12. And should we come down a little bit? Let's come down a little bit. So throttle's back to come down. We're not adjusting our pitch. Can we see we're so tall it's hard to see? There's San Francisco. We look back. There's the city. Wow. So gorgeous. Sometimes I think this is better than actually traveling in real life. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just telling myself that to feel better. Alright, we're going to keep our speed up. What do we need for descent? Weather doesn't matter. Landing lights on. Fuel pump on. We left all that on while we were flying anyway. Flaps at 110 and then 85. 110 and 85. That's all we need to know. Landing speed 64 with throttles at idle. Alrighty, let's bring back throttles to descend, but we're going to keep our speed up. So mixture rich, gears always down. Fuel tank selector is automatic in this. And everything's cooperating, no wind to worry about. What else? That's it, just 110 for final approach. And then second set of flaps at 85. And we're land. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's so freaking gorgeous. I really just want to stare out the window all day. Wow. Look at that. It's as real as it gets without it being real. We'll see what happens with Flight Sim 2020. I do plan on getting Flight Sim 2020. I don't really have the energy to learn a new sim, but I will. Because even though it's supposed to be accurate, little nuances will be different. So, and like I said, I don't really have the energy to relearn it, but I will. I'm sure I'll enjoy every minute of it. But anyway, that's in the future. Let's land this plane. So we're bringing back throttles so that we come down. We'll nose up a little bit to slow down. And we're coming in really fast and high, but that's okay. We have a very long runway. We're going to land halfway down just so we don't have to taxi a mile, like a literal mile. So we're just going to land long so we can taxi at the end and not have to worry about clogging up traffic. So here we go. First set of flaps down and second set of flaps down. And it's going to float. Here we go. We're at our touchdown speed. That's okay. A little bit of throttle though so we can soften this out. See, we're fine. We're fine. We have such a long runway. Let's see if I can do this without dropping because I can never tell where the runway is. Throttles to idle. Tease that stall horn. Where is it? And smooth as silk. Do not slam that nose wheel down. It's still up. It's still up. Let it put itself down. There it was. Put itself down. Good. We have a taxiway right here. So we can get out of the way. Let's start slowing down. And flaps coming in. And there we go. Awesome. Good. Let's see. We're gonna just, yeah, we're gonna go to that big hangar right there in front of us. So we need to come down. Actually, let's stop the clock. 21-minute flight. Let's see if I can do this while we roll out. Landing lights off, taxi lights on, nav lights off. Wait, what? Do I have all my lights backwards? Well, that's right. Okay. Weird. I don't think we need to do any replays of that landing. That was pretty by the book as it gets. And we saw plenty of sightseeing, I think, as we're flying around. So we're just going to go right to that big hangar right there. Look at that limo. That's our ride. Our ride is waiting, but we're going to go to the hangar. Anything else we need to do? Nope. Just going to park it, shut it down. So I'll meet you over there. Alrighty. Just a few more feet. And then we'll shut it down and they'll dolly us however they want to dolly us. We're not going to pull into the hangar when it's running. No. Let's stop here and set the parking brake. And what do we do to shut this thing down? Well, let's see here. Whoa. What was that? What am I doing? That was very distracting. Sorry about that. Pitot heat off. Strobe, taxi light off. Fuel pump off. Beacon can come off. Mixture lean. Confirm flaps up. Fuel cut off. Avionics off. Bring that to off. Battery and all to off. And open doors. Well, that was easy. Let's open that door. Let's hop outside. Wow. Sun just came up. Airport is looking gorgeous. Let's have a peek out here. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight. Hopefully you enjoyed the weirdest story time ever. I know some of you want me to shut up sooner. I know a lot of you, most of you like the story time. So that's why we do it. Is because most of you do like it. So maybe I'll have some real stories next time. I don't know. But anyway, super simple GA flight. That's what I normally do on this channel. Although I had been doing a lot of 727. And I will continue once I have time. There's the skyline. This is normally what we do here. I'm trying to get back to my roots a little bit. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm going to get ready for my next flight. I don't have time today. I got to get to work like in 20 minutes. But I will see you next time.